Excuse me. If you ain't never pulled this move off, and y'all know what I'm talking about. 299. 300. Hey, what's going on, Lucille? Just getting a quick burn in. You know, it's been a while, but obviously I still got it. Just want to let you know I made you a plate. It's down there. Whenever you're ready, you can go eat that. Matter of fact, I ran your bath water. You know those little bath bombs? Yeah, I got one of those. Your favorite one, the little purple one. Yeah. Purple rain, purple rain. Yeah, I'm just in here. I just finished up the left bicep. Just knocked out 300 on the right. You know, I'm just trying to be a better man, Lucy. I know you working 12-hour shifts. I know you deserve better. And what I'm trying to do personally is if I could be a better me, then I can be a better us. I'm starting to make more sacrifices. I'm starting to eat clean. My diet, I'm actually vegan now. So your food is down there in the oven. It's waiting on you. You warm it up. As I mentioned, the bath will be ready for you. I got your bed. I washed your linen. Everything is good. Some candles for you. So just whatever you need, let me know. All right. Because I want you to know, as your husband, even though we have our differences, even though I'm sleeping in Terry's old room, I want you to know that I'm here for you. And I'm always going to be here for you. You, Nikki, Meech, and Terry, y'all my heart. And I don't know what I would be if it wasn't for y'all. Now, I had a career in music, but I put that on hold because I wanted to make sure that my family was straight. And I know right now we're going through some turbulent times and things may not be as peachy and as rosy as we wanted, but just know that as the man of this household, it's up to me to provide for you. It's up to me to make sure that Nikki gets to school on time. It's up to me to make sure that my boys, even though they doing wrong, they have a house over their head. So just a heads up. Just a heads up. I did sign off on Meech getting a new house. But hear me out. I did that so our son won't have to be looking over his back. Because it was either that or let people go kick those down. It was either that or let people go rob him. It was either that or let people pimp out his girl Angel. So what was I supposed to do? As a father, as a black man, the toughest job in America is being a black man, and especially a black father. When your sons are led astray, I look down to my ground and I looked up to the Lord and I dropped down to my knees and I said, Lord, give me a sign. And he said, Charles, you need to start hitting those weights. How can you be right for your family if you ain't right within? So I made a change. I just knocked out 300 curls on each arm because that's what I need to do. I need to be better so I can do better. When I look in the mirror, I don't want to be looking at a man that can't make a change. When I look in the mirror, I want to be the man that made a change. So, Lucille, take your time and do what you need to do because I'm here for you. I'm here for Nikki and I'm here for the boys. And that's never going to change. I know CPS is after our son, Terry, but guess what? I went down there and I filed a motion today because that's what fathers do. I'm a black man in America. Not only am I a black man in America, I'm a black man in Detroit. These streets ain't safe for anybody. So if it's up to me, then I'm going to make sure that our family is taken care of. Now, Lucille is hearing all of this. And y'all didn't peep it, though. Y'all didn't peep it, though. Lucille walked out of there. What Lucille do? Lucille walked out of there like, woo, 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 woo. Lucille walked out of there like, oh, Charles. Oh, Charles, come to the room tonight. Yeah, Charles, come to the room tonight. She walked out of there fanning herself off. She was on fire. She said, ooh, wait. Ooh. Oh, that nigga Charles is in there. That nigga Charles, I ain't gonna lie. This is exactly what Charles did. Charles was looking out the window. He heard her open up the door. He was like, all right, ready? And she comes upstairs. What's up, Lucille? Just dinner in the oven for you. Just getting a quick pump in. You know, trying to get back in shape. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking about walking on for the Detroit Lions. I'm hearing Barry Sanders need a backup. Like, oh, this nigga Charles. Charles over there hitting Charles hitting them pull-ups. My nigga Charles putting in that work. Yes, sir. See, It takes a real man. It takes a real man to go above and beyond. See, Charles has already identified the situation. And he knows what turns Lucille on because Lucille been turned on before. Remember, at one point in time, Charles was a good man. He was a good old quiet boy, kind of like Breeze. But that's how you get 3 babies out of her. You don't get 3 babies out of her. She ain't really fucking with you, you know what I mean? I ain't never had a girl hot and bothered over a nigga like me. When the woman get done with me, they don't give a fuck. They go back to their nigga. I ain't never had a woman be hot and bothered over me. No, never. Man, I need to hit that gym a little bit more, Charles. Soon as they get done with me, they go back to their boyfriend, back to their husband. They go back to the streets. They go back. I done talked to him last week, and then this week they ain't hit the nigga back no more. They was some new nigga. I said, what? I ain't never had nobody hot and bothered over me. Not even my ex-wife wasn't hot and bothered over me. She left me for a rich nigga. A rich nigga. What a rich nigga won't you? Lucille is fucking with a rich nigga, but hot and bothered over a broke nigga. I said, how the hell did this nigga Charles pull this off? This whole time niggas been hating on Charles, but guess who hasn't been hating? Guess who hasn't been hating? Hey, everybody comment who hasn't been hating on Charles in the last 2.5 seasons. Everybody comment who hasn't been hating on Charles in the last 2 seasons. Go ahead. Go ahead. Who hasn't been hating on Charles? Everybody's been hating on Charles except for one person. And we got facts and evidence to prove that that person never hated on him. How the hell is Lucille fucking with a rich nigga but hadn't bothered off broke nigga? Someone tell me who hasn't hated on Charles in 2.5 seasons. So put in the chat. Because there's only one nigga in the world that was doing it. There was only one nigga in the world that was doing it. Go ahead, put him in the chat. Put him in the chat. Put the one nigga in the Power universe, the BMF universe, the 50verse that hasn't hated on Charles. Go ahead. I can't see properly. Hold on, give me a second. Lily says a young nigga named Mona J. Well, I'll be damned. That's me. Would y'all look at that? Would y'all look at that? Me. That's my name on the screen. That's me. God damn it, Mo, you done did it again. Miss Zoe said I gave him the name Raw Dog Charles. I'm Raw Dog Mo. Everybody done raw. If you were in this chat and you were over the age of 20, we didn't all Raw Dog something, or you done been Raw Doggy. We didn't all Raw Dog something. What we talking about? Raw Dog is not a bad name. Raw Dog is not a bad name. That is just a verb. You know what I'm saying? It's just a verb. What is it? It's Raw Dog. That's Raw Dog Charles. Okay. Meech, he Raw Dog. Terry, he Raw Dog. All the Marquisha Raw Dog. Wanda Raw Dog. Angel Raw Dog. Everybody's the Raw Dog. Everybody the Raw Dog. Raw Dog ain't a bad name. Lucille Raw Dog. We got 3 kids. What we talking about? Everybody the Raw Dog. We listen. This ain't me. Hey, I'm gonna put this out here real quick. We're gonna continue on with this story. You know, just y'all ain't gonna want to hear this. So all church folk said Mark Dark stole my Raw Dog Charles. Hey man, you know it is what it is. I mean, but we all Raw Dog. So is it really my Raw Dog? Hey, yo, pause on the Raw Dog for me owning it. But we didn't all done it. That is our word collectively. You know what I mean? Now I forgot what I was about to say, man. Y'all didn't got. Hold on. What the fuck was I about to say? Oh yeah. All right. So all you church folk, if you are church folk right now, la 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 la. Cover your ears if you church folk right now, because I'm about to give y'all the real deal when it comes to raw dogging. You know, the devil created contraceptive. You know, the devil created condoms. You supposed to be raw dogging. The Bible say you supposed to be raw dogging. That thing don't say nothing about you protection. So, hey. That means contraceptive and rubbers are the devil's work. The devil say use that. The Lord didn't say, I ain't never heard one time in that thing. Then I'm in that book. I'm looking through. I was like, looking through it. Okay, where's it say use one of those? Okay, nope, not verse 13. Nope. Okay, Leviticus. Nope. Nope. John. No. Nope. Be fruitful and multiply. We don't die, we multiply. You got a raw dog to multiply. Raw dog Charles is not a bad name. That's the devil's work. So when you go in there, you got a condom. I shame the devil. I shame the devil. Buy condoms. Don't be out here raw dogging, man. Y'all be safe out here. Get tested regularly. Every 6 months I go in for my test up. You know what I mean? We good to go around here. But do whatever you see fit. But Raw Dog Charles is not that bad of a name. I'd rather be Raw Dog Charles than Burning Up Charles. Put a 1 in the chat. Would you rather be called Raw Dog Charles, or put a 2 in the chat? Would you rather be called Burnt Up Charles? Now let's see which one sounds worse. Burnt Up Charles or Raw Dog Charles? A 1 for Raw Dog, a 2 for Burnt Up. Which one would you rather be? We all adults here. We all adults here. Now, Charles done put in all this work. Charles think he about to get some too. This nigga Charles think he's slick too. You know what Charles did? Charles went in there and he got a washcloth. He putting some water on his back, dabbing up his chest and shit to make it look like this nigga been in here just getting it in. We all know Charles ain't been putting in that much work. This nigga Charles is out and about. Remember that nigga was down in Atlanta. He wasn't even thinking about working out. That nigga went to the Jack the Rapper ship. That nigga was wilding out. But let's continue on. Now, the next time we see the family members, is when Lucille comes home. Now, we already know what happened here. Kendall, I got the pace, Kendall. I got it tonight. Speaking of Raw Dog Charleston, well, we seen Sticky Fingers Nikki still in tampons, but we didn't see Sticky Fingers Nikki still in condoms. Well, Lucille just came home from a 12-hour shift, still hot and bothered. Look, this is the leftovers from what happened when she seen Charles last night. She woke up and went to work. She ain't got right since she seen my nigga Charles working out. That nigga Charles didn't even have to touch her. That's how you know you got that, you got that gift. The gift and the curse. It's the gift that keeps on giving. Lucille went to work hot and bothered from last night. She ain't got right. She seen my nigga Charles in there working out. Mr. 300. I'm talking 300 curls per arm. No bull niggity. She came home and said, girl, ain't no one getting no cutty in this house except for me. Charles is coming home later on, and he's about to lay that P to the I to the P to the E down on me. I seen that man upstairs. Breeze, you need to get your little nappy-headed self out of here. Y'all need to be home before the street lights is on, and I'm calling parents. Lucille is mad, irate. That 12-hour shift at Wendy's, it ain't no joke. Let me tell you, it ain't no joke. I used to work at Sonic's. That's the only fast food I ever worked at. I told y'all they fired me on I was off. I clocked out. And they told me to clean up the refrigerator. And I told the manager, fuck you, nigga. I quit this bitch. And I quit. And I gave my boy a ride home from work. Paul's on the ride home, but I was the only one with a car. So I clocked out at 7. He got out at 8. They said, Mo, can you help clean up the refrigerator? I said, nigga, I done clocked out. If I ain't getting overtime, I ain't doing it. They said, you can't get overtime. So I said, fuck you. And I quit. And that was a week before I graduated high school. Facts. But let's continue on. So I know how it is to be working multiple hour shifts. But working a 12-hour shift, now that's crazy. And me not eating for free at Sonic is even crazier. And you got to pay for that, Mo. Nigga, I'm dropping triple chicken strips. I'm dropping mozzarella sticks. I'm over there making grilled cheese. I'm making me hamburgers with 3-4 patties on them motherfuckers. I ain't paying for nothing because I'm at work, nigga. This is free food. If I'm making it, it's free food. I would never come home hungry. But Lucille comes in here. Lucille came in here and she seen this. She said, "Oh hell no! I already got what 4 grandkids, 3 grandkids in a possibility. Oh no! What up, Torian? What up, Torian?" He said, "Nigga got fired after he clocked out." Hey, facts. Hey, what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna call my homeboy Willie. So my boy Willie is the one that had to clean up the refrigerator. Like real, I told this story before, I think. But yeah, so I had a since we talking about Lucille at work. Yeah, that's what I told it when we talking about Lucille the first season. Yeah, so I got off work because it was kind of slow. And so the last thing I did was I had the water hose. And to clean out Sonic, everything is lifted up. So everything is like on stilts. So you can spray water up under it and it drains on all sides. So you take one of the trays and you get down on the tray and you spray. So you get a bucket of water, you put the soap in there, and then you do like the squeegee over the floor, and then you dump the rest of the water out, and that goes up under like the stove and everything. And then you take the water hose and you spray everything. So I did that, and I got off work at 7 o'clock because we were slow. Now my homeboy, he was gonna get off at 8 because you had to have 2 people working till 8 at least. And then there was my other homeboy that got us the job. His name was Uche. He was African. Uche was there. He's gonna be there till 9 to close. So I got off at 7 because it was slow. And I like, hey, Willie, I'm gonna go sit in the car and I'm just gonna wait till you get off. So I went up front. I'm talking to the girls. So, the girls work up front. They got a better lifestyle than us. They got music. They got fans on. They get free drinks. Like the only thing we got for free at Sonic's was the drinks. The food costs, but the girls was up there with the drinks. So we had hey, Kelly, let me get that. Give me a drink. So they be bullshit. So I'm up front talking to the girls. I clocked out. This nigga gonna come and say, "Hey, can you help Willie clean out the freezer?" I said, "Hey, I done clocked out, bro. Why you ain't ask me that shit when I was on the clock?" "Well, I'm asking you now." I said, "All right, well, if I clock back in, you're gonna give me overtime." He said, "Nah, we can't give you no overtime." So I said, "Can I clock back in?" He said, "No." So I said, I'm not about to clean the refrigerator. He said, "You're not gonna help Willie? You guys can go home early." I said, "No, if I ain't gonna get paid for it, I'm not gonna do it." He said, "Well, you should come help him." I said, "Man, fuck that. I quit this stupid shit then." Just like that, I quit. I mean, nigga, I'm not about to go back there and help out. You get the fuck out of my face, nigga. Man, I'm graduating in a week, nigga. The fuck we talking about, nigga? Go clean the freezer. You know what you had to do with the refrigerator? We got shit on trays. You got to take all the trays out of there. You got to go spray the walls down. Then you got to rub all the walls down. Let that shit sit for like 20 minutes before you put everything back in. Man, I'm not doing that shit. I quit that shit right there. Does Willie still work there? Hell no, Willie don't work there. After we graduate, all the niggas, we got the fuck up out of it. We just working there because our homeboy worked there. And our homeboy, you know what I'm saying, he hooked us up with the job. So it's like, cool, we got us a cool job. And all of us worked there. It was some cool. We had some straight chicks that worked there too. Because when we worked at, it wasn't in like our school district. It was a little bit out. So, hey, they had to. That girl Kelly was nice. She was a junior though. But there was this other girl, but she only worked like maybe once or twice a week. She was a cheerleader for the other school, but she was bad. But that's why she only worked like she barely ever worked too, man. She had some nigga. I don't know. This nigga had to be old enough because that nigga's car was nice, unless he was just had some rich parents. But this nigga used to drop her off. Now, this nigga's car was better than mine, but I had me an 88 Acura Legend. It was gold on some 16-inch chrome wheels, but I had 2 12s in the back of my shit. My beat was, my shit was thumping way harder than that nigga shit, but that nigga's car was better than mine, so she ain't never give me no play, man. But shit, I ain't gonna lie to you. Every day we at work, whenever I seen her, I'm at it. What's that? It's like, nigga, you smell like fries. Like, damn, girl, you know I gotta, hey, I'm working back here. I'm working. Girl, give me some love. Show me some niggas some love. Fuck that nigga that you love so bad. Like that nigga mama gave him that car. I had to hustle for my shit. Everything you see out there, that shit nigga rigged. That was me hooking that beat up. You dig? Had my homeboy put the goddamn stereo in. I hooked that shit up. Nigga, I tore the shit. That's me putting in that work. I ain't got the bread to go to the store and get that shit. You know what I mean? Fuck with your boy. Fuck with your boy. Nah, so my homeboy Willie actually worked with the Kansas City Chiefs. So that nigga, he been there for all their Super Bowl rings too. He worked up there. Shout out to my dog Willie. We used to call him Willie Dynamite. He was the running back for our school. My junior year, senior year, he was the running back, starting running back. That was my dog. But yeah, he worked for the Kansas City Chiefs now. So shout out to Willie. He's probably watching on Facebook. He'll probably watch it back. But yeah, shout out to my dog Willie. Willie Dynamite. And then my homeboy Floyd Hurricane. And then my older brother, Henry, the one that used to be in the lives with me. Yep, that was the crew, man. We all worked up at Sonics our senior year. All right, let's continue on. Lucille kicks him up out of here. Now, next time we see Lucille, she's putting up a sign. Now, the sign says, I tried to get it frozen on there so we could actually read it, but let's see. If your last name isn't Flenory, you may not go upstairs. Now, there was this one time. So, this situation here has happened before. Like my mom used to want us to have girls over, but at a certain point, she really didn't care because my dad didn't trip. My dad didn't care about none of that. He was like, man, shit. You know what I'm saying? If you got girls over, hey, man, wear protection. You know what I mean? My dad didn't care. He was more of, I'd rather you be in here and you being safe than you out in the wild and out, because I told you how I used to rip and run around. So it was like, okay, cool. Well, I had this one girl. Her name was, I ain't gonna say her name because we cool now. We still cool to this day. She was nice too. She way better. She didn't got older. Whew. She put on that mom weight too. Oh my God. I'm talking. She messed with dope boys though. She out in San Diego. Sheesh. But yeah, I had her come through one day. This is my senior year. I used to have half a days because if you had a job, you could go to school half a days. But I ain't had no job. Remember, I didn't start working at Sonics till maybe like January of 2003. So this is in probably like October of 2002. So going into that year. So I had a half a day. And I got old girl. I convinced her to skip school with me. So we came to the crib. It's probably about 11 or 12. Because I got out at 11:15 every day. We came to the crib, had her upstairs in the room. You know what I'm saying? One thing led to another. We were feeling each other, and out of nowhere, my room is on top of the garage. Dun, dun, dun. I'm like, man, what the fuck? So I'm in the room, right? So I'm in the room, and I hear the garage. I'm like, oh shit. So I'm hopping up. I'm like, hey, you gotta get dressed. You gotta get dressed. So she get dressed. She's like, what is it? I'm thinking, ain't nobody supposed to be here. So I'm like, who the fuck is it? I look out the window. It's my mama pulling up. I'm like, oh, I know she about to be hating. Like, if it's my dad, I could just be like, nah, I came home. You know what I mean? I just came home because I wasn't feeling too good, or I had to do a number 2 because I lived in walking distance. If it's my mama, because they didn't know I had the work release program because I didn't have a job. But I had the work release, and I had my homeboy's uncle signing all of our shit because none of us had jobs. But we had him signing off saying that we were at work. So I'm at the crib because I got me something. Normally I don't go back to my crib, but I got something today, and I convinced somebody to skip school with me. So I'm like, all right, man, we go back to the room. So we up in the room. I hop it up. I'm nervous as hell. My heart jumping out of my. I'm like, fuck. So my mama come in, and I'm like. So what we do, we get dressed, and I take her down to the front door. And what we do, while my mom is closing the garage, I hear the garage closing. So I tell her, hey, don't walk off yet. Just stand on the side of the door. So she goes outside. She's standing on the porch. She's standing on the porch, and I come and I act like I'm opening up the door when my mom comes in. I was like, "Hey, mom, what are you doing here?" She's like, "Oh, I took off work early because I got to go do such and such at your brother's school." No, no, my brother was a freshman, so it wasn't at my brother's school. I think she was doing something with my nephews. But she like, "Yeah, I got to take off and get your nephew." So she in the house, so I'm acting like I'm just coming into the door. She's like, "What are you doing home?" I said, "Man, I don't like using the bathroom at school. Plus, they be playing around and throwing paper towels at people when you're number two." She's like, "All right, well, hurry it up. Do you need me to take you back?" So I'm like, "Oh, no, 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 no." So I told the girl, like, once I go in the house, start walking off so I could distract my mom. So she ended up walking off. And then my mom takes me to school. She's like, "Hey, do you know her? Tell me why my mom picked up the girl that left my house and took us both back to school." Man, I'm like, dog. Cause she was going back to school. It's like 11 in the morning. She started walking down the main road back to the school. I'm like, why the fuck would you walk down the main road? My mom takes me back to school. She said, "Hey, do you know her?" She said, "Hey, are you going to school?" And I'm acting like I don't know her like that because she just came from the house. She's like, "Yeah, I'm going to school now." Man, tell you my mama didn't pick both of us up. It took us both back to school. She's sitting in the back seat. We acting like we don't know each other. Man, my mama be begging me, "Why don't you have any kids?" Well, if you would have let me raw dog that day, I may have had a kid at 17. If you would have let me raw dog that day, Ma, I probably would have had a kid at 17. But you interrupted what we had. We had a good thing. Don't know if I'm gonna see you again. And nothing ever happened between me and her ever again. We always stayed cool. We reconnected probably like 3 years ago. I mean, we talked like on and off, but nothing ever came out of it. She got a son. That nigga in college now. That could have been my little boy. But no, my mom was hating, wanted to take off work early. You know what I'm saying? I got the same thing that happened to me. Man, dog. I told her, I was like, "Hey, don't walk off until I go back in. So my mom won't see like a girl walking off of our street." Cause our street is like, it's like 4 houses before you get to the end. Cause we like in the center of it. And then you go like turn right. And then you on the main street once you turn left. So it's like my mom would know that there's no girls that live on our block. So I'm like, "Hey, wait like 2 or 3 minutes and then walk off." Man, my mama talking about, "Well, once you get done, I'll take you back to school." And we'd have picked her ass up. I'm like, man. Hey, matter of fact, man, I would not. I will put her picture up here and show y'all what she look like now. Y'all be like, "Damn, Mo." We cool though, man. That's all I can say. But that's just my story about no one being allowed to go upstairs. My mom didn't want girls going upstairs with us. We could go down in like the little den, but you could see the den from the first floor. Like it's only like 5 stairs into the den. So Eric said, "You got to show me." All right, come on, let's continue on. All right, I think I still gotta. I'll show you, Eric. But all right, so they in here and they discuss, and she's talking about little Breeze being over here. Now Charles likes Breeze. Charles ain't got no problem with Breeze. He ain't got no problem whatsoever with Breeze. He's like, "Man, you know what? Breeze ain't that bad." She like, "Oh no, this little nigga fast, man. I done seen this nigga. This nigga is out here acting a damn fool." You know what I mean? He says, "Hey, I seen that check, that $10,000 check. You still messing with the doctor? You still messing with the doctor?" She like, "Charles, unlike you, I kept it real." I said, "What? Ain't no way she kept it real with my nigga Charles." He's like, "Man, I just want to know about that $10,000 check, man. That's all. I ain't asking for too much." Hey, Eric, check your DMs, bro. But he seen that check, and that's why Charles has been acting different. Charles is up there fixing the drywall too. All right. So he found that $10,000 check. Now, the next thing we see is her going to ask Dr. Maurice. He's like, hey, Dr. Maurice, I'm just here. I'm just here to ask you some professional questions about our girl, Nikki. Now, how to know if the pill is right for you? Like, all right. So the first time I stumbled across the pill, I was at, it was this, Ashley K. Ashley K, I'm not gonna say her last name, but Ashley K is the first girl that I went over. She actually had the little circle thing with all the pills in it. And I was like, man, what the hell is this? She's like, oh, that's my birth control. I'm like, birth control? Well, you gotta take this shit every day. She's like, yeah. Like, you don't be forgetting that? She's like, yeah. And I looked in there, she sure enough forgot some. It was some days that were still in there. I'm like, you supposed to take these every day, ain't you? You're supposed to take these every day, ain't you? So that was the first time I stumbled across that. But this is my home girl. Well, I won't say it's my home girl. It was just, you know what I'm saying, chick that we were cool with. So we used to go hang out over her spot. Her mama didn't give a fuck. Her mama didn't give a damn. Like, nigga, we be over there 30 deep, nigga. Like, that was just a spot. Nigga, I used to go over there and go to sleep, nigga. She wouldn't even be there. Her mama just opened the door and I'd be over there. But she comes and talks to Dr. Maurice and they start catching up. And he starts taking some jabs, though. I call this some, you know what I'm saying? This right here is some bullshit. Whatever happened to Charles? Was he in the music? I know he was a good ass guitarist. Like, what? What? Man, don't be talking about Charles. She's like, nah, you the only one that actually stuck to what they were supposed to do and became something. I said, damn, that's fucked up, man. That's fucked up. Now, what do y'all think about Maurice asking about Charles? Y'all think that's cool? That's player or that's unacceptable, Charles? I mean, Maurice. That's cool. We good with that, or we can't let that slide, Dr. Maurice. Like, you're a doctor already, man. You don't need to be hating. That comment from Lucille was out of pocket, but it was uncalled for. Man, it's shady. Kendall said this conversation, man. So if I talk to a, like, that's never been, I don't know, man. I just, me personally, I just don't like hearing or talking about other niggas. If a woman starts telling me about what, like, oh, my ex did, hey, listen, I tell them straight up, I stop them right where they are. Now, we had this girl, this is a true story. My homeboy that live in the UK, we used to be stationed out here in Germany. The baddest chick on base, her name, we called her Freckles because she had freckles. I'm talking about bad nigga. Oh, Lord. I'm talking about, she got to the base, everybody, they fighting like, hey, I'm trying to holler at that. Now, we used to hoot with her husband. Well, it was her ex-husband, but they went to the same base. She was a supported kid, like the military, they try to keep you guys around each other. So he used to hoot with us. She was married to a white dude. So this nigga used to hoot with like AirPods in. Man, let me tell you something, man. I used to talk bad to that motherfucker. I'm like, hey, nigga, you ain't nice enough to be hooping with AirPods in. He get out there, think he doing some shit. I used to lock that nigga up. But she came to our base. And before I knew who she was, my homeboy tried to holler at her. Now, he tried to holler at her and he failed. So it's like, all right, bet. Now you gotta give your homeboy the game plan. That's just how it is. Like, hey, boom, we talked about this. This didn't work. This did work. That's how you're supposed to run the game. Like, okay, boom, 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 boom. Don't talk about this. She ain't really trying. All right, cool. So he gave me the rundown. Now it's my turn. I'm on deck. Like Ray and Claude said, I'm on deck. So I'm hollering at her. We go out and eat at this little Italian spot down the street from the crib, right? I'm like, cool. You know what I mean? We good. We've been talking for a little bit. We good. We good. We out eating. Boom, boom, boom. I'm cool with the owner because it's right down the street. And I used to go on like Fridays. I go down there and get some orders. So he knew me. Hey, Mo. He's an old German guy, but he owned a little Italian restaurant. Pretty good. So he knew that was my go-to. I bring the women there. He hook a nigga up. We get a bottle of wine. He'll give, you know what I'm saying, whatever woman I leave with, he'll give her a bottle of wine. Oh, it's complimentary. But even though I paid for that shit, but it is what it is. But so we doing that, we good to go. Now it turned out she ended up moving like a block away from me. So one day on a Saturday, on a Sunday, she hit me up. But prior to that, while we was out eating, she was like, yeah, you know, your homeboy, he tried to holler at me. I wasn't really felt like, hey, yo. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to talk about no other nigga. But the way she tried to flip the story, I'm like, I know what the story was because I seen the text messages. I know the truth. But I'm just like, hey, I ain't trying to talk. You know, I'm not trying to talk about no other nigga. If he tried to holler at you, that's between you two. Ain't got nothing to do with me. But she tried to throw my boy's name in the dirt. And I'm like, come on, man. You can't do that. We play out here. I know what the fuck happened. I seen the conversation. This nigga done gave me the rundown already. That's why you think we here. I'm one step ahead because I prepared for this. But anyway, she talked about that shit. I ain't trying to hear none of that. So one week she called me up on a Sunday. It's probably like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, right? She called me up. She talking about, hey, can you help me out with this German washer? Because, you know, you got the German washing machine, you got the dryer. So the washing machine was all right. It's just in German. So you can Google it, but I knew she was trying to get me to come over there. But the dryer is different. So it's a condensing dryer. So when you put the clothes in, you have to dump the water before you can start it because it contains all the water. You got to dump the water into like the sink. So she wanted me to come over there. So I'm doing that. We down in the basement. Boom, boom, boom. We get it going. We get back upstairs. She like, I already been drinking some wine. So I'm like, all right, shit, what kind of wine you got, right? What kind of wine you got? So she showed me the wine. She like, honey, you can open up this one. And it was the wine that we got when we went to eat. So I'm like, all right, bet. You know what I'm saying? We didn't make that noise, but I had to over exaggerate. So we upstairs, we pouring up wine and shit. I'm like, nigga, go. You already know a nigga like me. She going to the living room. I'm go. I'm like, nigga, I got to give me a head start. So we go into the living room. Oof. It's going down. It's getting ready to go down. Mind you, her husband's he's at the base, but they got their own houses. Everything is going good. This nigga called talking about I'm about to drop the son off. I'm like, that little nigga at the crib, man. It's Sunday, it's like 2:30, 3 o'clock. She fucking with a real nigga right now. Nigga, keep your son. Get this little nigga. He's a little light, he's a little mixed baby because she was black and you know he was white. But keep this little big eared nigga, man. Don't bring him over here. Nigga, I'm over here, nigga. Nigga's big eye. This nigga called up talking about he about to drop the kid off. She talking about, are you okay to drive? I'm like, nigga, I live a block away. Nigga, I moved the car like 2 or 3 houses down and walked to the crib. I was great. She said, I'm gonna call you up once he dropped the baby off and the baby go to sleep. So I'm looking at the clock. I'm like, it's 3 o'clock. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm gonna be goddamn sleep by then. I got work tomorrow. I'm like, nigga, I done over here drink half a bottle of wine. We getting ready to get it in. I'm like, okay. I'm looking at the clock. Like, you gonna hit me back? She's like, yeah, once he leave, like, long story short, that was the last time me and her ever hooked up with each other, bro. Nothing ever happened. I'm like, dog. And ever since then, whenever I seen, it was a white guy by the name of Wes. Whenever I seen Wes on the basketball court, I made it my duty to make sure I gave this nigga hell on the basketball court. That nigga was not allowed to score when I was holding him. Fuck that. From that day, even if he was on my team, I ain't give a fuck. Nigga, you ain't getting the ball. Nigga, don't pass him the ball. Nigga, fuck him. Nigga, I was over there. I was good. She talking about I'm gonna call you back. Nigga, it's 3 o'clock. What time you gonna call me back? I'm looking at the clock, but I ain't want to be a lame nigga and hit her up at like 9. Hey, that nigga sleep. So we just never talked after that. You know, we see each other around. We'll say what's up, but that was it. That was it. All right, y'all be getting most stories because I'm trying to what I'm trying to do is fill in for the show, because if we just talk about them, man, we'll be running through this in like 2 hours max. It's really not too much of the story. Said that's childish. No, that meant listen. Your wife left you, nigga. She for the streets. Oh, true story though. Turned out when I went to like my airman leadership school, this is probably like a year later. Cause you know, when we initially, like the first time me and her actually got that, man, that whole situation was kind of bullshit. Like me and her knew each other from the base, but the first time me and her actually got up with each other, it was after the club one night. And I went back to her room and I stayed in her room, but it turned out she had two friends staying in there also. So I'm in there, I'm like, oh cool, she taking a shower, you know what I'm saying? We good. We about to do our thing. Her two friends showed up. So that's how we ended up going out to eat. Like the next week, we ended up going out to eat on that Friday. Because Saturday, I went and stayed with her at the hotel. Turned out her and her bum ass friends were all staying in the same room. So nothing happened. And then that next week, we went to eat. And then that was the end of it. So after that, I said, you know what? Since you fucked up a good thing, Wes, I'm going to fuck up everything you got from here on out. From there on out. He was on my shit list. He was on my shit list. Nah, it was meant to be. All right. Well, she goes and tries to figure out this about little Nikki. Nothing happens out of there. Next time we see them, it's the family dinner. Now, we already know what happened with the dinner. We know what happened at the dinner. We had the prayer, and everyone gets mad at little Nikki. Everyone gets mad at little Nikki. Now, this whole time, Charles is sitting here and he's mad because they, you know what I'm saying, they bringing up, excuse me, they bringing up all the, you could have had an orgy. Man, I'm not getting into no bullshit like that with no nigga. It's just me and her, me and her, me and her. The family dinner goes down. We already went over that, so we don't really have to talk too much. We know Charles is pissed. But Lucille, in the middle of the night, she decides to put on that red dress. She heads over to Dr. Maurice's office. Now, Dr. Maurice think he's smooth, y'all. Dr. Maurice think he's smooth. No, I wouldn't have. And I wouldn't have raw dog her because you know she had a kid already. So I wasn't about to be baby daddy number 2. You know what I mean? Raw dog Mo is not baby daddy number 2. No. If I'm gonna be a baby daddy, I'm gonna be baby daddy number 1. I'm not gonna be baby daddy number 2. If you baby daddy number 2, you just a reckless ass nigga that don't give no fucks. I can't be baby daddy number 2. Hell, I'm not even baby daddy number 1. But if I had to be a baby daddy, I gotta be baby daddy number 1. I can't be baby daddy number 2. That's just me personally. That's just me personally. Definitely can't be number 2. If I'm number 2, it's like, nigga, you just didn't even give a fuck, huh? You already see that they struggling with the one baby she got. Now what you about to do? Give her another struggling baby? And I'd be damned if my kid's struggling. Because if my kid's struggling, well, my kid ain't gonna be struggling, but the other kid gonna be struggling because I'm not giving a fuck about the other kid. I'm sorry. But if I'm baby daddy number 2, I'm only taking care of my child. I don't have enough money for 2 kids. If I wanted 2 kids, I would have 2 kids. But I'm a real nigga and I'm a realist. People can say whatever they want about me, but I'm just gonna be real with you. I ain't taking care of nobody else's kid. It just ain't gonna happen. Go find you another baby daddy to figure that out. But no, sir, not me. But Lucille shows back up. I hope I ain't too late. He said, nah, you never too late. You never too late. He said, you know, I've been waiting for this for so long. Making love until the sun comes up. And baby, I just wanna take it nice and slow. Now, baby, tell me what you want to do. Now, here we are. Driving around town. Lucille got that red gown. You got me saying, my. Wish that I could take you home and fuck you. Charles been hating since 1978. And Lucille, baby, I want you, lady. Lucille said, oh, Reese. He said, Luce. And they got the holding hands and they got the kissing. That nigga, Dr. Meech. I mean, I better call him Dr. Meech. Dr. Maurice. He gripped on that ass. I said, oh, I ain't know Lucille had that. Because the only time I seen Lucille, no disrespect, Mama Meech. No disrespect, Miss Lucille. The only time I seen you was in the Wendy's outfit. And I wasn't really, only a nigga married to you can love you in the Wendy's outfit. I seen you in the Wendy's outfit. I'm like, ugh. But when I seen you in that dress, and then Dr. Maurice got him a nice firm grip, I said, oh my goodness. Ooh. Oh, wait. I said, Mama Meech. Ooh. Ain't no way. You been hiding that in that damn, ooh, girl. You, ooh, what you doing? You don't need it. Ooh, girl, hey. Hell no, OT. I ain't bringing no 2 happy meals, but Mama Meech can bring those 2 happy meals over here. I'm talking about. Hey, he put Miss Lucille against that wall. I said, this nigga Dr. Maurice is a menace. This nigga Dr. Maurice wasn't lying when that nigga said he met a lot of women in his day. This nigga Dr. Maurice is on some shit. That nigga Dr. Maurice said, I'm going to put my thumb in him. I was like, oh, Dr. Maurice, no, not here, not never, not now. This nigga Dr. Maurice said, take these contraceptives I was going to give to your daughter and use them tonight because we getting freaky. Ooh. Oh. Miss Lucille showed up. Miss Lucille showed up and showed out. That nigga, hey, you know that nigga played, hey, we've all been here before. Hey, put a to all my fellas, we know exactly where Dr. Maurice is at right now. Put a 3 in the chat if you had it getting cracking, but them telling you, no, we should stop this. And you had to do I'll wait for you. Put a 3 in the chat. Everybody has, if you a real nigga, you've been there before. It's like, fuck, man. We should stop this. Well, I'll be there whenever you're ready. Put a 3 in the chat. If you know exactly what's going on, you put a 3 in the chat. I just gave you my 3 in the chat story. We all been there before. Like, God damn, man. Damn. We should stop. Like, oh. It's about 11 o'clock. You ain't got nothing else that's going to slide through tonight. It's like, fuck, why would you even come over here and start this shit then? We going to start this thing all right. We got that. Why would you even come through? Why would you even come through? What the fuck? OT said, J fight. Why? Man. I know one time I got off these lives. One time I got off one of these lives. This is back when I was in California. I ain't really had too many fumbles since I've been here. I probably I won't call those fumbles. I probably got like 3 that I cut off already since I've been here. It was on some bullshit, but yeah, man, you're like, what the fuck? The fuck you about to come through? Like, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Nick, I want to sing that, but people get judgmental if I my mind mind telling me, oh, but my body My body's telling me yes. I don't want to hurt nobody. But there is something that I must confess. I don't see nothing wrong with a little puppy cry. Come on, Lucille. I don't see nothing wrong. You done came over here. You came to the right spot. The doctor gonna put you in your place. You said you were separated. You said you were separated. Why would you come over here and tell me you separated and you don't want me to do no separating? What was the point? You could call me on the phone for this. I could have been at the crib. I know Dr. Maurice is like, what the fuck, man? Don't come over here and get a nigga hype. Don't come and get a nigga hype. Don't come over here wearing that dress. That thing poking out behind you just to get me hot and started and vroom, vroom. I got a motherfucking Corvette engine over here. This ain't the bucket that Charles got, baby. This nigga ready to roll. I'm ready to put that motherfucker in the third gear. Don't be coming over here talking about pump the brakes. No, I'm talking about vroom, vroom. I'm not talking about no skirt. I'm talking vroom, vroom. Don't come over here. Don't come over here with that bullshit, Lucille. Don't let a nigga get a grip in, Lucille. You can't do that to me. I'm a doctor. I made something of myself. I'm a doctor. This is how you gonna treat me? Now I know what they were feeling like going through the pandemic. Nurses and doctors were getting no respect during the pandemic. Now it all makes sense. Lucille's over here getting the doctor ready to go just to tell him to pump the brakes. Pump the brakes. Come on, Lucille. We almost had a whole hour on Charles and Lucille's story, but damn it, let's speed this thing up because Lucille done pumped the brakes on us, so we got to carry on now. We thought Dr. Maurice about the $10,000, Maurice. $10,000. That's the motherfucking thanks I get. Lucille returns home. Look at Lucille's hair. Lucille went over there. If you look at it, if you see anybody coming home with their hair like this, what's the first thought in your mind? Like, man, what the hell? Lucille then came over here. This dress got wrinkles all in it. The hair is all messed up. Lucille, you smell like Gucci cologne. Where you been? Lucille, where you been? She talking about, oh, my babies. Whole time you were just over there with Dr. Maurice. But then she goes upstairs. Look at my nigga Charles. Charles looked out that window again and seen Lucille pull up. And what did he do? He act like he was upstairs working out. Lucille, where you coming from? Oh, I was just getting some air, Charles. How you feeling now? She's like, I'm good, Charles. He's like, all right, well, good night. She looking at Charles like, damn, this nigga been working out. This nigga been working out. Hey, look at Charles. Look at Charles. Look at Charles. He gonna hit the pull-up bar one time before he go into the room like this nigga just be working out all day, every day now. This nigga Charles think he's slick. This nigga Charles, he gonna come out with just a towel on. Didn't dry off at all. This nigga just got a towel on. He gonna hit the damn pull-up bar one time before he go in the room like, yeah, Lucille, I'm out here getting it. And that is the story of Charles and Lucille. We got that right up under an hour, man. What y'all think about Charles and Lucille? They about to try to make things back. They better try to get this thing back together on the right page. They try to get back on the good foot. What we got, man? What we got with them? Charles talking about, all right, good night. He hit the damn pull-up bar one time. Yeah, Lucille. Feel the burn. Like, man, get your ass out of here. Lucille looking at Charles before he leave. Look at her. It's like, All right, there y'all go. The Charles and Lucille story. as told by the BMF writers. Oh no, Charles knew she was with Dr. Maurice. There's no other thought that could cross your mind at this point. Lucille ain't got no friends. We go to a new church. She put on her nice dress. There's nowhere for Lucille to go but to go fuck with the doctor. You know these things. You know these things. This is common sense here.